You know that specific kind of anxiety you get? Walking into a strange conference room like 5 minutes before a big presentation,
Oh, I know it well.
you're holding your laptop, you're staring at this tangled mess of cables on the table, and you have absolutely no idea which one actually works.
It's the dreaded cable lottery. We've all played it. And what we usually lose, you waste the first 10 minutes just trying to get a picture on the screen.
Exactly. So today we're looking at a solution that tries to eliminate that anxiety by basically making the technology just disappear.
Right.
We're diving into the Kramer WP-211X. It's a 2x1 4K HDMI auto-switcher, but the form factor is what really caught my eye. It's a wall plate.
And that's the key. We're looking at this through HDTV supply, and the big takeaway isn't just that it switches video signals, it's that it changes the whole infrastructure of the room.
How so?
Instead of a box sitting on the table collecting dust and coffee spills, this unit actually replaces a standard wall outlet faceplate.
So when you say wall plate, we're talking about like the standard rectangular switches you see in every house in America.
Pretty much. Technically, it fits a standard US one-gang in-wall box. It's a Decora-style plate.
Okay.
So if you're an installer or even a serious DIR, you just pop this into the wall. It's got two HDMI inputs right on the face.
And the idea is just to hide all that messy cabling inside the wall.
Exactly. You're left with just a clean interface for the user. No more spaghetti.
Which aesthetically is a huge win. But I want to push back on the size a bit.
Go for it.
Usually when you shrink tech down to the size of a light switch, you lose performance. Are we sacrificing quality just to have a clean wall?
That is a valid concern, but looking at the datasheet, Kramer hasn't really compromised here. This thing handles DCI 4K resolution at 60 frames per second.
Okay, let's pause there. 4K I get. But why does the 60 frames per second matter for a conference room? Isn't that mostly for, like, gamers?
It's crucial for gamers, sure, but in a professional setting, 60 frames a second just means smooth motion. If you're scrolling through a web page or showing a video clip, it won't look choppy or jittery. But the bigger spec here is actually the color processing. It supports 4.4.4.
That's one of those numbers I see on spec sheets and my eyes just glaze over. What does 4.4.4 actually mean for the person plugging in their laptop?
So think of it like compression for color. Lower numbers usually mean the device is throwing away some color data to save bandwidth.
Okay.
For video, you might not notice. But if you're projecting an Excel spreadsheet with tiny black text on a white background, a lower setting makes the text look fuzzy.
Ah, with those weird colored halos around it.
Exactly. 4.4.4 means no compression. You get crisp, perfectly readable text.
Okay, so it's powerful. But let's go back to the auto switcher part of the name. How smart is this thing, really?
It's not psychic, but it is logical. It uses a last connected priority.
Meaning?
Meaning you plug your laptop in, it assumes you want the screen, and it switches to you. If you unplug, it just switches back to the previous active source.
Simple enough. And there are buttons if you need them.
Yep, manual buttons right on the front if you really need to take control.
But what if it gets confused? You know, that horrible moment when the laptop and the TV just stare at each other and nothing happens.
Right. That's where a feature called IED Pro comes in.
That sounds like a droid from Star Wars.
It does a bit, but think of it as a diplomatic translator.
Translator.
Yeah. Sometimes a laptop and a projector don't speak the same language about resolution. The laptop sends 1080p, the projector wants 4K, and you get a black screen or flickering.
I've been there.
This feature forces a handshake between the devices so they agree on the settings instantly. It locks that connection so you don't get those awkward pauses.
I want to pivot to audio because this is where I think a lot of these setups really fail. You get a great picture, but the sound comes out of the tinny speakers on the projector.
Ugh, the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the audio de-embedding feature on this unit is actually a really big deal.
Okay, break that down for me, de-embedding.
So your HDMI cable carries both video and audio together, kind of like a braid. This wall plate can separate or de-embed the audio stream from that braid.
Oh, I see.
It sends the video to the screen, but it routes the audio separately through a little 3-pin connector on the back directly to a room amplifier or a sound system.
So I plug in my one HDMI cable and the sound automatically comes out of the nice room speakers, not the projector.
That's it. And it supports up to 32 channels of uncompressed digital audio, including Dolby True HD. So if you were building a high-end home theater, this thing handles the surround sound formats without choking.
That is seriously impressive for something that fits in a junction box. Now, is this going to break the bank? High-end usually means high price.
It's surprisingly reasonable for commercial-grade gear. I
Yeah.
think HDTV Supply has it listed around $352, and that's discounted from about $440.
And are people actually liking it, or is it just good on paper?
The verified reviews are really solid. We saw comments from buyers like Jeffrey C. and Rico T. just calling it excellent. The consensus seems to be that it solves the mess problem without creating new tech headaches.
So it really seems like the whole goal here is just invisibility.
Yeah, that's it. It raises an interesting thought. The best technology is often the kind you don't actually see.
Right.
It's not the flashy gadget on the table. It's the thing in the wall that just works the moment you plug it in.
Sometimes the best interface is no interface at all. Something for you to think about next time you're plugging in for a meeting. And that's a wrap on this deep dive. Thanks for listening.